no, dude, you're good.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast. Yes, another wrestling podcast. I am Willie Tiny, and my hosts today are Will the Thrill and L.A. Willie.
Yeah.
And our guest with us tonight is the one, the only, the fastest up-and-coming referee in the tri-state area. Everybody loves him, Jimmy Peacock Deacon. Welcome, Jimmy.
Welcome, Jimmy.
Pleasure to finally be on with you guys and appreciate those kind words. How y'all been tonight?
Good.
Doing good.
Doing good, man. Doing good.
All right. So, what made you decide to become a referee?
So, it was more of what made me decide that I wanted to keep doing it. So, as we all know, I learned and I trained under Tremont and Mike Quest at H20 back in 2022. Part of that process was because we had the student shows going on, and that was to build all the kids training or the guys ready to go to the main show, get us ready for it. So we learned how to referee as part of our training to help us and to help the product. After I did a practice match one night, and the match was over, and I immediately went, this is a lot more fun than I thought it would be. Like my thoughts on reffing were completely shattered. I've been having the time of my goddamn life refereeing. I'm having as much, if not as more fun than I think I would if I finish my training proper and I start trying to wrestle. So when I left and as I was coming back, I realized that I could have a career. I could do this happily as just a referee. And that was the big thing in my head that made me realize that I wanted to come back and I wanted to keep doing this because it's fun. Like, it's fun. You're in there. You're doing everything you can to help out the guys in the ring. And you get to experience the aura that the guys you're refereeing for bring out of the crowd around you. Like those holy shit moments, those this is awesome shots in time. And I think that's what keeps a lot of us going as well, being able to experience the moments that the guys we're in the ring with bring out of the crowd.
Gotcha. So how long have you been a referee?
So I reffed for a few months during my training when I originally trained, and then I had to amicably take a step back to for personal matters. I stepped away for about 10 months. Got all of my stuff together. Had a revelation, wanted to come back. And this month marks my first full calendar year as a referee for independent wrestling. And I've been keeping track of my matches since when I was training in 2022. I'm currently and officially at 210 matches.
Nice.
I knew you knew exactly how many. We'll touch up on that soon. We have a match announcement for XPW Fear.
Do we now?
Yes, we do. As noted, was a Friday night. We announced Marcus Matters will be in action at XPW Fear, and we're going to announce his opponent. We have TJ Crawford versus Marcus Matters.
Oh,
We're certainly
baby.
looking forward to this. Three Wheels is sponsoring Marcus Matters, and I think it's Rich Michaels is sponsoring TJ Crawford. And you will be at XPW Fear,
That's gonna. I will be there, and
and you will
that's
probably be
gonna be a
refereeing that match.
We'll see. You know as well as I do, we don't know what we're doing until we get there.
Yep.
That's for sure.
That is a match that if I'm not in the ring for that, I'm absolutely watching it from the back. That's gonna be good.
Yeah. So, who wants to take the next one?
All right. So, what was your favorite match to officiate?
So I can give three for three different reasons. So
Okay.
the first would be, and I can actually have my notes up with me as well. So for recently, I would have to say MM3 versus Drake Younger for RPW Scum of the Earth back in July, Berwyn Eagles. MM3 is someone I consider a friend, someone that I can shoot the shit with and talk to and have a good time in the back with. Drake is an absolute legend. He's done what I'm doing in WWE for years and years. And the ability to be able to referee a Drake Younger match in this day in 2024 and get to be against Malcolm Monroe III, who is undeniably one of the most up and coming stars in independent wrestling, regardless of if it's just technical or death match. That match was incredible, start to finish. One of the hardest working matches I've put myself through, and just me getting blown up from making sure everybody could be as safe as possible. But being able to go to the back after a whole day of anxiety, being like, I don't want to fuck this up. I don't want to fuck this up. Oh, God. And then going to the back and just letting out this yell into my buddy's chest that I fucking did it. Everyone's good. And it was just a match well done, and getting thanked for me being in the ring. There was my 100th match, which was back at the Unlucky 13 this year. That got to be with Alex Stretch and Neil Diamond Cutter. That match sticks out to me because Stretch we've been by each other's sides since my tryouts. Like, he was there. He was the one I kind of gravitated towards when I was learning how to do everything in the ring. He's always been by my side. I've always done everything I can to support him. So being able to have my 100th match in the unlucky, not only be in the Unlucky 13, but with someone like Uncle Neil and one of my best buddies still stands out to me a lot today. And I also got to have the pleasure of my father being in attendance for his second wrestling show ever since I started, and him getting to watch me do my thing for the 100th time in like 4 or 5 months. And then the last one is King of the Kill this year. And you could pick a match off of that entire tournament. That was my first time doing a death match tournament outside of the H20 building. I can't thank RPW enough for giving me these opportunities to come out, show up, show out. The vibe of that entire tournament was unlike anything I've ever felt. Like every little piece in the machine was well oiled, was working perfect to a T. Every single match that I refed in that tournament was I'm literally at a loss of words for how incredible everything was that night. So those are like the three I'd have to give as my most exciting matches, all for their own reasons.
Nice.
What a thrill.
How many matches have you officiated in how many different states?
So I'm at 210 currently.
Jesus.
Lord
That-
Almighty. That's a lot of hand slapping on the mat.
And I believe I'm at either 6 or 7 states.
Ooh.
Okay.
Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Illinois, Nevada. All right, so I'm at 6 states so far. I'm adding number 7 this Saturday in New York for Saw Underground, which is going to be fun. And then hopefully I'll be adding 1 or 2 more by the end of the year.
Now, how many referees can actually say they had 6 coming on 7 in 1 year? 1 year of reffing. Not many. Not many.
Not many. Mm-mm. Yeah. And on that, so who are your top 5 referees of all time? What would be your Mount Rushmore of refereeing?
God, so I'm gonna start with little Nate, Charles Robinson. He's absolutely on the Rushmore.
Yes.
We got. I want to try and do like 2 or 3 from like the feds, and then like the rest from the on our scene.
Yes.
Because there are some incredible motherfuckers in this business that no one will know because they're not able to get out and see them. So on the Fed side, we got Little Nate, and gotta give it to the old man Hebner.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Down here, SPO, beyond a shadow of a doubt. That's not even a question.
Yeah. God rest his soul.
We got, I'd say, Adam Galt. He's someone I look up to. I talk to that I go out to out of my way to see his matches to try and pick up more to better myself when I'm in the ring. And that 5th spot on the mountain, honestly, just on work rate alone, like not even considering how incredible of a talent they are, how incredible of a human being they are, it's got to be Shoes.
Mm.
Like Shiny,
Right.
who is out in the jolly old UK right now. Just did that show in Scotland that Tremont and Joel Bateman and everybody was on.
Nice.
Nice.
I can't
Red
even
Shoes.
fathom
Red
to imagine
Shoes
how many he's done. How
Red
many
Shoes
matches
from
he's done.
New Japan.
Yeah, he's incredible. Shiny Shoes is incredible.
Yes.
He's absolutely deserving of a spot, if not an honorable mention on anyone's ref Mount Rushmore.
Nice.
I like that list.
Yes. Can't argue with that list, man.
Not at all.
Will, you want to take the next one if you want?
All right. So, what does H2O mean to you and your relationship with Matt Tremont?
Well, the answer is going to be cliche, but it's true. It's going to be factual. H2O's family. A lot of businesses, a lot of corporations, a lot of places like to do that good old pep talk. Like, we're a family here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's bullshit, but it's not. I found out very, very quickly in my time that that's not the case at H2O. It is the absolute truth. Matt gave me a chance when all I did was walk up to him. we recalled a past interaction we had and asked if there was space for me to possibly try out and join the school. He gave me that opportunity. He allowed me into his building, into his family. He has gone above and beyond what most would, to not only just for me but for others in H2O, to make sure they have what they need to succeed. When I left, I was thankful it was on amicable terms when I had to go out and take care of myself personally and professionally. And when I came back, I'll be honest, I didn't know how to go about asking if he ever needed assistance, but within a month, he hit me up, said, "Hey, you still doing your thing? Would you want to come help us out?" And I told him he doesn't even need to ask that. Like, if as long as I can be there for Matt and H2O, like they've been there for me through the last 2.5 years, it was always going to be my pleasure to walk into that building and help however I could. Matt is honestly the best boss I've ever had in any kind of job.
Naturally.
And it's not even fucking close. And H2O will always, no matter where I go or what happens to me, H2O is always going to be a home to me. It is always going to be a place that I can look at with positive memories, with enthusiasm, and just be able to look at that warehouse and go, you know how many people want to come to a warehouse in Williamstown to watch wrestling, and then they get to come to this one of the top 2 spots. Like, you ever think of that? Indie wrestling, like 2 of the most must-see venues are a 3-star hotel in AC and a warehouse in Williamstown. And there are people who would travel the country just to go to one show in them. And I've been afforded the opportunity to work and hone my craft inside this building with the incredible talent that Matt has brought in, that Matt has trained and brought from the ground up. I could go on and on with just kindness and niceties and thanks that I have for Tremont as a person, as a trainer, as a human being, and for H2O as an entire organization. It's nothing but love.
That's good.
I'll take the next one. When you were officiating, you cut your hand. You were even wearing gloves. Want to take us back to what exactly happened?
Yeah, so that was an X Brand show. It was the main event of that show. It was Drake Younger versus Danny DeMonto versus Chris Bradley. Bradley had just been eliminated for if you go back to timestamp, it happened very shortly after. What occurred was, as Drake, I believe he hit his frog splash, as I slid down for the pin, I believe there was just a piece of glass sticking vertical. I didn't notice it. I go for the pin. As soon as I count the 1, I feel my hand get stabbed through my glove. I finish the count. I get up. I pull out the glass, and I'm like, shit. I knew it was going to bleed a lot because it was in the palm. There's just some spots where even if it's not bad, it's going to fucking bleed. So I'm trying to like just shake it off, and JB notices it, like, come on, let me check it. And as I take the glove off, that was kind of like releasing a tourniquet. That pressure released, and my hand just started gushing blood. Now, I still even have the scar. It's not even a big scar. It wasn't a bad cut at all. It was just a puncture. But around me, everyone's freaking out, telling me to get out of the ring. But I'm more focused on Danny and Drake. I'm more focused on finishing the match, which, sometimes if it was a much worse injury, then I may have bowed out. But I wanted to finish the match. I didn't want to, freak out over something that I already knew in my head was not going to be bad. So I told JB and I told everybody by the side, I was like, just wrap my hand up. I'm going to finish the match. I don't want either of the other refs just sliding into an ocean of glass just for like what ended up being a minute and a half, 2 minutes more of wrestling at the time of me being told to leave. I was
Right.
like, I'm going to stay in here. I don't want them risking getting hurt as well just for less than 2 minutes of a match. Just wrap my hand up. I'll be fucking fine. They wrap it up, get the job done. I roll out, go to the back, get it cleaned up. Everything was fine. But that's something that can happen. Like the freak accidents like that can happen all the time to a ref, to a fan, to a wrestler, and it comes with the territory. Like a couple months later, I'm looking at my leg right now. I got a nice little envelope cut open at the main event of Ultraviolent Kingdom, and that one freaked me out a little bit. But I ended up, worrying way more than I should have. It's healed up beautifully, no infection, but it's something that I had to help wrap my head around. Like shit like this can happen sometimes. You just gotta keep on keeping on, because if you bow out and there's no one there left, there's no one then to take care and protect the well-being of the wrestlers should another freak incident happen, and now it's to one of them because the referee's out panicking. Granted, there are some injuries, like if we remember On Point when the wrist got slit, those are ones like if something gets nicked or it's a bad injury, get the fuck out. But if it's not to a point where you gotta go, acknowledge it, put it in the back of your head, and you just gotta keep trying to go until you're uncomfortable or you're being told by people who've been around longer than you to get out of the ring.
That was a great explanation. And you did finish the match.
Yep. He is a soldier. Go ahead. All right.
Well, to throw, I want you to take the next one.
Yes.
All right. Please forgive me if I butchered our special guest's name on that. All right. You officiated a match at the Intergender Bonanza 19 between the Cream World Order's leader, Stan Styles, versus our hero, Erica Demia. See, I knew I was going to do it. That's why I almost passed it to you. Well, anyway, can you tell us our experience about that match and the slow
So, Stan, I don't know what or who has given this man the ability to slow time via a shake weight. But God, do I hate whatever entity did it. I truly thought we were just going to have a nice match between Eric Demia and Stan Styles for a good show. And then, of course, Stan begins to throw a tantrum and decides he wants to play dirty. I tried to stop him. You all see clear as day. I did what I could to try and remove that foreign object from the ring, but unfortunately, whatever powers he wants to call it, everything I could not physically move any faster than I was. I was fighting. I don't know what, but I was fighting something just to move, and I thank Erica every day for how she got us out of that, because God knows we'd still be stuck in slow motion, knowing Stan Styles. But that was
our hero.
Watching it back, being unaffected and watching back the show. That was it was something else. It was honestly, without hindsight, it was pretty funny. It was pretty good.
It was awesome. Now
Yes, it
we just had Stan and Erica on together for the promote their second match. And we gave them their flowers. We gave you your flowers. Uh, The, it was just awesome. Like everything was in sync and on
Yeah.
time. It was just amazing.
Thank you, truly. There's nothing quite like a Stan Styles match.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. You are absolutely correct.
For sure. All right. So, what are your goals you want to achieve in the business?
Well, I feel like two of my goals that a lot of people share in this business: longevity and the ability to do it full time.
Mhm.
I'd like to be able to be doing this for as long as my body lets me. If I can find a way to make it so that my real life job can just become a play money job, I'll take it in a heartbeat. Which
Mhm.
is why I try to make as many towns as I can whenever I can. If I overseas, that's something I'd love to do, or just international in general, Canada, UK. That'd be an incredible thing to cross off my bucket list as a ref.
And Japan.
Working, like I want to try and get. I want to kind of do the GCW thing where they're working like passively on having a show in every state of America.
Mhm.
I'd love to be able, with the keeping track, be able to just have a map and like shave
Cross
one
out.
off like a scratcher for every time I have a show in a state,
Right.
and just be able to physically look at all of the miles, everything I've done. But the two main ones are just longevity and hoping that one day I can do this a lot more often.
Is Japan on your list?
Oh, it's on everyone's list.
Yeah.
But Japan, Australia, UK, Canada. I'd love to one day be in each of those countries one way or another, whether it's for work or whether just to experience them.
Yeah.
No.
Before we get to the next question, what's going on with this picture?
Listen, man. So here's what happened. We got a band playing. The ring's empty. It's set up for the semifinals of the show I was doing, and I was sore. So I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go in the ring. I'm going to lay down, and I'm just gonna focus on myself and get myself ready for how chaotic the next three matches were going to be on this show.
Right.
So there's a band playing on the stage behind where the camera was taken, and I felt like laying down, taking a quick little nap ski.
Hey.
It wasn't an actual nap, but
Right.
just stretching out a bit, just
Yeah.
laying down, relaxing, whatever you can to get your head on right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Right. Exactly.
I ain't wrong with that. We tiny.
Your top 10 death match wrestlers of all time.
Oh, fuck.
Here we go.
All right.
I
Out of
didn't.
the 210 that you've done.
You
I
gotta
didn't.
pick 10.
I didn't. I didn't go today because I don't want upset or offend anybody. So of all time.
All
Of
time.
all time.
No particular order. I'm prefacing that right now. This is
Okay.
in no particular order. I'm just listing off 10 names. Tremont, beyond a shadow of a doubt, most decorated North American deathmatch wrestler in the game. Drake Younger, absolute legend, is having the renaissance of his career, I think, on the indies right now.
Mhm.
Danny Havoc, North American Deathmatch would not be how it is or where it is as a scene if it wasn't for him. Marcus Crane, that the shit he would do and the love he had, while these last two, I never had the pleasure of seeing them perform and wrestle live. The love they had for the game is always tangible, even through a video screen. I'm not even halfway. Shit. We got Sick Nick Mondo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, that first TOD when I watched it, trying to learn up on deathmatch, watching him in those first couple made me realize, yeah, I can see myself doing this crazy shit after all.
Mm-hmm. It's halfway.
Nick Gage, without saying, without need of explanation, Gage is on that list. Jun Kasai, the crazy monkey.
Yeah.
Takeda's right there with him. Though, like,
Two more.
People don't think people truly understand how blessed they were. Both of them compete not only in 2023, 2024, but in America. That is, we were truly blessed to have that and be able to see them perform their craft live for many of ours first times. And you can go back and watch anything they've done, and it still holds up. And they've still proven themselves, even now that they are some of the greatest of all time going in Japan and in overall the entire scene of deathmatch wrestling. All right, that's it. And then I'm going to give two. I'm just going to give two names from they are showing the potential to be one of the greatest. Atticus Koger.
Nice.
Nice.
He-
Very nice.
If people sleep on him, that's on you. I say you're making a horrific mistake.
Mhm.
Every show he does, shows up, shows the fuck out, proves why he deserves the spot he does in so many promotions and in the deathmatch world. And I can already say, damn near factually, he is on this list for a lot of people already. And if he keeps going how he's been going, it's going to be an inevitable. Like, he should have a guaranteed spot on everybody's greatest list. It's only a matter of time. And for people who are absolutely going to get there, Vendetta and MM3, the pillars. Both of them,
Nice.
both
Nice.
of them are fast approaching this conversation of should they be considered many people's greats, because I know they give everything they have every time they get into the ring as someone who has worked matches with them, who's been on shows with them and seen what they do. There's no quitting either of those two motherfuckers. And if there was, they would never let it show its ugly head in the light of day. They both just went toe to toe in the last couple of months with Drake Younger, one of the first people I set on this list. And they held their own and then some. They are absolutely deserving of a spot on this list to me. And like I said with Atticus, if they keep on keeping on like I know they're going to, they're going to be an inevitable on, I'm going to say, 9 out of 10 people's top lists when it comes to the best and the greatest deathmatch wrestlers.
That's a great list.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good
indeed.
list.
So,
And
World
again,
of Thrill.
that I don't have my own actual list. I didn't have any plans for a question like that. I'm just
Right.
naming off how I say in the moment.
Yeah.
I'm not detrimentalizing anybody else in this game, because if we really wanted to talk about this, we could have a whole We could have a
Separate show.
multi-series, like 3-hour super show across 3 days
Right.
about the people who could be on all of our objective lists.
Exactly.
Little
Yeah.
mini series.
Look at this swag, man. You all the time have swag.
Right.
And the background even gives it more pop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't hate the player, man.
That was a wonder. That photo's from one of the best things I've done in my life. I took my lovely partner out to New York for her birthday. We went to go see the Broadway performance of Illinois that was behind me. It was the closing performance of the show's Broadway run. I knew that the show and that which inspired it meant a lot to her, so I made sure I made her birthday worthwhile. We saw the Botanical Gardens earlier that day. Came to the city, went to go see the show. It was absolutely incredible. Got to meet some of the cast. It was that photo was basically the cap on one of the best nights I've had in a long time.
Don't you even have like a Dusty Rhodes fairy coat?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome.
we got called best dressed at the show by a lot of people.
Nice.
It was a really fun night.
So, what a thrill! You got a question?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, I
Oh
do.
boy,
waiting all night for this.
Peacock. We
yeah.
ask all our guests this, okay? You in particular, man, second referee on the 3 wheels of wrestling. If we include Willie Tiny, then that would be 3.
No.
But
No.
technically,
Honorable mention,
no,
Willie Tiny.
2.
No.
2. Okay? All right. So the question is your dream matchup, anywhere, past, present, even future federation, or even in Japan, your dream matchup, you know,
Well, the thrill is it to officiate?
to
Yes, it is.
officiate. Yes. Yes.
If I could give myself one match to ref,
Anywhere, anytime, any place. It doesn't matter. Wrestler,
people.
alive, dead.
Yep. Yep. It could even be like a special setup match. It could even be that. It's whatever your dream matchup.
That's crazy. All right. Honestly, this might throw people a bit, but these are the first 2 names that popped in my head. I agree with them, and I'd love nothing more to ref to in this hypothetical space be in the ring with these 2. Joel Bateman and Jun Kasai in a death match.
Ooh.
Wow.
Nice.
Very nice.
Those were the first 2 names that popped up. My brain went, that'd be an absolute banger. There it is. Joel, love Joel. Been able to ref a couple of his matches when he's over here, including Mania Week. Great dude. He's given us the death match scene that they deserve. The Dream Tournament is something I always look forward to watching since they birthed it, christened it. And honestly, I just can't stop thinking about how just fucking crazy those 2 could get.
Who's going over?
Don't give me the book on that. I'd literally be telling them, go. No, man, I'm literally like, go as long as you want. Y'all rock, paper, scissors or some shit for who goes over. If I'm booking that show, I'm happy either way.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very nice. So I got a question for you. It's kind of like Will of the Thrills, but a little twist here.
All right.
Throughout history, any point in time in the past, of all the matches that have taken place, which would be your top match you wish you would have refed at that time?
Nice.
If you had to pick one, whether it's big feds in the like your number one match that you would pick out of history and say that's the match that I would have loved to be a ref.
Going back to Mondo, honestly, his finals at TOD with Wife Beater,
Mhm.
after going back and watching the TODs, to learn where deathmatch came, how the deathmatch scene has grown, and to see, the legends before everyone now do this crazy shit. Wife Beater and Sick Nick, just to witness the Weed Whacker and all of the carnage in person.
That was the early
And-
days.
Yeah, fucking early 2000 days. That nice
Crazy.
July heat in Delaware.
Yeah.
But that, and if I had like a Fed match, because when I think of this, I'm big on like the emotion and the aura of everything going on around.
Exactly.
So when I'm thinking it, like when I'd honestly have to say, because of how I was watching it when it happened, when Kofi finally won his world chip
Nice.
at Mania,
Nice. Yeah.
just because of the story that went into that match, how insanely behind him the crowd was, how vocal. It's the shit like this that makes what goes on in the ring so much bigger. And it's what I love the most about wrestling. It's that the fans have the ability to make this so much more by just watching and giving their full attention. And when that magic hits, there's nothing fucking like it, man. There's nothing like it when someone kicks out at 2 and the entire room loses their absolute fucking mind.
How about 2 2/3? Man, that timing is unbelievable. You know how that is.
Yeah. No, but like he's right to that point, like being at WrestleMania this year, just seeing a lot of the matches come down like that, like the crowd just like loses their mind. When they kick out on that, 2 3/4 count.
Yeah.
So I mean, so he has a point. It's like the crowd does play a big part, with moments like that.
Any moment where it gave you chills?
Really got him thinking.
So it's because it's either going to be something that still does and always will, or it's something that did it once. I'll do both. I'm not ashamed to say this. I get teary eyed and goosebumps every time I'm in the ring for a Tremont match, because the aura of Separate Ways is
Yeah.
never going to be something that wears off on me.
Exactly.
Like hearing that synth hit and everyone in that building go absolutely nuts it gives me goosebumps every time, and it honestly gets me even more hyped for the match than I already would have been. Another time, stepping into a ring at the Berwyn Eagles for the very first time for RPW Scum of the Earth. Both when I stepped in for my first match of the show, and then when I got in for the main event of MM3 and Drake. Just you'll notice a lot. I look around like before, if the live is just feeding, I'll look around, and I always take everything in. Like I don't let anything be taken for granted. I step into a ring. It doesn't matter if I've done it 100 times for the company or it's my first. It's always that same rush of anxiety and pride at the same time, and then taking in the crowd. But that match specifically, waiting for MM3 and Drake to come out, I had fucking goosebumps.
I'm sure.
It was an incredible environment.
So I have a question for my co-hosts here. So what gives you guys goosebumps or still do at this point from wrestling, any point in time? Willie Tiny?
Excuse me?
I said, what gives you
I don't know.
goosebumps? Yeah. How about you, Willie?
It's not about me. It's about Jimmy tonight.
Yeah.
So anyway, you mentioned separate ways with Matt Tremont. What about when Freako Leach comes on when Killdozer comes out, or is it
That's
just separate ways?
The other
no,
persona.
Freak on a Leash is a whole different animal. When that hits, it's instead of the emotion that I feel with Tremont, it's more of a oh fuck, it's Killdozer. Because we still don't know which one's going to show up on any given day. So if I'm in the ring and I'm expecting a Matt Tremont match, and then I'm personally, if I'm his opponent, I'm shitting my pants, and you know what? You have it. You win. Because Killdozer is a completely different animal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
So, any more plugs, upcoming bookings?
So we got this Saturday the 21st, I'll be in Amsterdam, New York for Saw Underground. Next week, I believe, is my first weekend without shows in about since August. Then we come back. We got the big triple header, start of October on the 4th, 5th, and 6th. We got Rise Underground, we got ICW, and we got H20 versus UK.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got XBW Fear on the 11th. We got H20. We're going down to Chattanooga for Halloween this year, from the 25th to the 27th. Bringing some East Coast death match down to Tennessee. November, I got a couple shows going on in November, and then from there on, it's you never know where I'm gonna pop up between there and Mania.
Exactly. So, how can we reach you for a booking?
So if you go about the email route, Jimmy Deacon 1996 at Gmail. All of my socials are the same: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm not calling it X. It's the Jimmy Deacon. I'm more easily gotten a hold of through those apps where you have inboxes and direct messages for my phone to pop them up and put them right in my face. I check my email obviously often, but Twitter, Instagram, and if you got me on Facebook, those are the big three to get a hold of me if you need something, whether it's a booking or if you just want to shoot the shit.
Sounds good. Book Jimmy. He's the man. My personal experience, I don't want to downgrade anybody or nothing, but you're my favorite referee in the area.
Yeah,
it's not even close.
Can I piggyback off of what you just said, Bill?
Go ahead.
I mean, really tiny. Because Peacock, Bill got me right back into wrestling. Like we were talking, and it just got me back into it. And on my first time at the
indie scene.
In the indie scene, yeah.
Right.
But he brought me to the H20 arena. First time, never heard of it, never seen it, but seeing your colorful hair and how your structure was, it just had me pay attention and focus on the whole match and how well you orchestrated. So now whenever you came out, I was actually able to pay attention, not just to the match with the story, but also to see how you as a ref handle things. And to learn from how Willie Tiny does it, and also from someone who has done 210 matches. Yeah, dude, I want to give you your flowers because you definitely deserve it. Seeing you in the death match scene, seeing from a normal match, I was like, wow, this guy's all around. And even though you're not fully being body slammed or anything, I still gotta give you your flowers, dude.
I
You deserve
appreciate
it.
you guys, your kind
You
words.
deserve it.
Really. It's always a grind. I want to be where it's basically I just want to make little Jimmy proud. The one that came across SmackDown channel surfing home alone one night, saw Rey Mysterio, went to school and found out all of his fucking lunch table friends watched it too. And growing up, the kid that wanted to be John Cena when he grew up, running down the steps every time Edge or Orton did some heel shit, yelling at my dad, Dad, Edge and Randy Orton just beat up Ric Flair. They just drug his body down the entrance ramp, and then run back upstairs and keep watching. Doing this is fulfilling that childhood dream, and while it is in a different way, I love it just as much, if not more. I'm always going to give my all to do what is made to be done as a referee, keeping everybody safe and making sure that the crowd themselves can see what's going on, can follow the story, and are just as invested as they can be at every given moment. So the fact that you said that I was in a way helping you be able to pay better attention to the stories and the matches as a whole means if I'm not taking away that spotlight, it means I'm doing my job right. And I truly appreciate those kind words from all of you.
All right. Any more final questions?
Nope.
All right. Well, let's take it home. You don't have to go anywhere just yet. We're going to hit our music and we're going to end this.
Thank you guys for having me.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Indeed, indeed.
Yes, indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
This is the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. We enjoyed our time with Jimmy here tonight.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Three Wheels of Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.